Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am JP the Outlaw, the voice that makes a moist, your favorite color commentator, here to give you my review of Monday Night Raw After Mania, April 9th, 2018. Listen, a lot of people do not like how I did this one going around. I'll get better with my time frame. Some people like it, some people don't. I actually like the special top time. It gives me time enough to come home, review everything, relook at everything, and really give it a once over before I give it out to you guys, okay? So, they open the show up with Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon comes out hyping up her performance in her Ronda Rousey match with Ronda Rousey, Triple H, Kurt Angle. I don't think Stephanie did half of what she said she did here. Played a perfect heel character in her delivery of what she was trying to say and get across. The one thing I would like to comment on that is that the announcer said, "Could we please give it up for Stephanie McMahon? She's in a lot of pain. Could you please give it up for her?" And the crowd just immediately booed. I love that part. Not much here. Ronda comes down after Stephanie McMahon says her piece, puts Stephanie McMahon into an armbar for, just for good measure, let you know what's going on here. And that was pretty much it. They wrap it up with that. Stephanie McMahon gets carted out from the pain. Nia Jax in the ring with Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss starts off by picking Nia Jax apart verbally. And of course, Nia Jax responds by shutting her down immediately and calling out her tag team partner who got called up from NXT, Ember Moon. Which I don't mind. I seen them calling up Ember Moon after the Royal Rumble. Of course, Nia Jax and her team picks up the win. Ember Moon hits her finisher on Alexa Bliss to get the pinfall. Backstage segment with Braun Strowman and Nicholas and Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman are having a conversation. The camera pans in. He says, "I have to release the titles. I'm sorry." Nicholas has a schedule conflict. So, of course, Kurt Angle says this with the Kurt Angle, "I don't know what the hell to do" face on. And they go to commercial break. Come back from commercial break. You have Samoa Jose versus Johnny Sky, I think his name was. Quick match. No Way Jose, of course, picks up the win and for his debut match on Raw. So that's two call-ups from NXT and Ember Moon and No Way Jose. The Bar backstage with Kurt Angle trying to get their tag team championships back, but the tag team championships will be defended in 3 weeks after a tournament to crown the two number one contenders for the title. So one match in question will be the match that's up next between the Club and the Revival, but the Bar will get their shot to reclaim the tag team championships next week, as I think they go up against Officer Pain, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know who they go up against, but they get their title shot. They get their shot at the tournament next week. The Club versus the Revival. Gallows and Anderson, of course, eats a loss here, which I think they would do so much better if they just stick them with Finn Balor and call it a day. My opinion of it. In-ring segment with Seth Rollins hyping up how he won and won the Intercontinental Championship, how he's a Grand Slam champion now. Grand Slam Rollins sounds a little cool. It does, actually. But, I think you could do so much more with Seth Rollins. I would like for them to take the title off him before we get to the roster shakeup in the next 2 weeks. We'll comment on that as well. Finn Balor comes out first and asks for a one-on-one match with Seth Rollins. Out comes The Miz. And Seth Rollins thought The Miz would come out and immediately invoked his rematch clause. And he said, "No, I'm going to make you wait for it. I want my rematch at Backlash." And I think that's where they're heading as far as the Intercontinental pictures goes. Next match, and that was an in-ring segment. Next match, Sasha Banks versus Mandy Rose. Out comes Becky Lynch. Jesus Christ. Out comes Bayley. Jesus. Out comes Bayley to show support for Sasha. She catches her up on the rope, which causes Sasha Banks to win. Mandy Rose actually walks out the winner here. Paige announces her retirement on Monday Night Raw, which I think would have been a better segment on what is that? WrestleMania. I think that would have been a better segment there, but I don't think they had enough time for it. Of course, Paige would be missed. I'm sorry that she had to retire so soon, so suddenly. Moving on. In-ring segment with Elias. Of course, Elias is hyping up the crowd, telling everybody that he hates him. I hate the city, so on and so forth. Out comes Bobby Lashley. He hits him with a hesitation standing suplex. It's when Bobby Lashley puts out his arm, but he has the guy up, and then he does a couple of squats, and then he drops him. Another backstage segment with Kurt Angle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn and Kurt Angle and Sami Zayn. Bah. Kurt Angle and Sami Zayn comes out looking for jobs on Monday Night Raw. Kurt Angle only told him, I only have enough space for 2 cats. And, for 1 cat. If you want to, fight it out in this match coming up, you guys can fight it out later tonight, and we'll see who becomes the number 1 contender. Who will fill the spot for the last spot on the Raw roster. There we go. Authors of Pain versus Heath Slater. Heath Slater comes out trying to get into this tag team championship tournament. And out comes the Authors of Pain. They wish they could challenge somebody. Authors of Pain answered. Of course, the Authors of Pain dropped Paul Ellering. I think that's what that was, that little interaction between, like, you just stay back here, this is where you're at, and I think that'll be the last we'll see of Paul Ellering. In-ring segment with Roman Reigns. He's upset that he's lost against Brock Lesnar, but he guarantees the fans that he'll come back and win it all at Backlash, the World's Greatest Rumble. All the same shit. We know that eventually you will get the title, Roman. I'm sorry that you got cut hard way. It happens in the entertainment world. I think he was pre-cut and Brock Lesnar just aimed right, if you ask me. But that's my opinion of it. Out comes Samoa Joe and a surprising shock return. I would have had him come back and been Braun Strowman's tag team partner. It would have been better. But Joe comes back and cuts a crazy promo to challenge Brock Lesnar at Backlash. So whoever comes out of this Brock Lesnar match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, they got to go up against Joe. So that's already full-blown conclusion. Tag team match with Titus Worldwide, Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil versus Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, of course, picks up the win for his team as he throws Titus O'Neil's into the side of the Twist of Fate, and Jeff Hardy hits him with the pin. Matt Hardy hits with the pin. Then you have a in-ring segment with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Nobody was able to win this match to fill that last spot of the roster, so we don't know what's going to happen with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We'll probably find out sometime next week. Another backstage segment with Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and Bray Wyatt. They have a little interaction in that broken universe type deal. And Seth Rollins and Finn Balor looks at Jeff Hardy like, you understood what the fuck was going on? And they're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's my brother. I know what the fuck he's talking about. And then, of course, the last match, 6-man tag team match between The Miz, Taraj, Jeff Hardy, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins. Of course, Seth Rollins and his team picks up the win. And that is your Monday Night Raw review. I am JP the Outlaw. I'm going to go make me some dinner. Peace and the grease, and all you guys be safe.